All right, guys. I know most of you guys are going to be a little happy because we are going to talk about golf. One of my favorite sports, probably my actually favorite sport. It hasn't always been that way, but we're going to talk about golf in not the way that you probably want to talk about golf. But here's the deal. My family, we're golfers. But I witnessed something tonight on the golf course. Both my sons are in a league. They're in the same league, despite their age. But I saw something today that bothered me. And here's the thing. From my perspective, I'm not raising boys. I'm raising leaders. I'm raising men. I'm raising future men that will be leaders of this country someday long from now. Most dads don't even realize that they're neutering their own kids. So what I just watched was I took my boys to their golf league. And guys, golf's supposed to be about patience, problem solving, composure, consistency, right? But what I saw tonight was a whole lineup of grown-ass men stepping in to solve every little freaking problem for their kids. Their kids were made of fucking glass. I'm talking about Johnny hits a bad shot. There's dad right there fixing his stance, adjusting the grip, telling him what club to use, telling him where to aim, telling him how to putt. Here's how you do it, buddy. Meanwhile, I'm on the cart path in the cart, watching my son slice one into the sand. He looks back at me and I don't move. I nod. He grabs a club, assesses the situation, makes a decision, and takes the next shot. Now, why? Now, first off, when it comes to parenting principles, I know that my wife and I are different. We homeschool our boys. We've always wanted to. We control the information that is being fed to our kids through the school curriculum that we teach. The other caveat with homeschool is our sons come to the office with us sometimes, and they're learning how to solve problems in real time. They're seeing mom and dad go through a business, make money, solve problems, things that public school and even college aren't going to fucking teach you. So the hard part for me, and I understand where these dads are at, it sucks to see my kid hit a shot into the trees or to chunk it. But guess what? That's golf. That's life. How many times are you going to fucking slice one into the trees in life? A lot. How many freaking times are you going to chunk one up in the sand and get injured? It's going to happen. That's life. So I don't mean to say that my way of raising kids or my parenting principles are the only way to raise kids. My wife and I are doing the best we can with our principles and our values as a family. But here's the thing. I'm not raising boys that need daddy to solve their problems, right? One of the things that I've done since my boys have been born was when they bring me a problem, I tell them to solve it. Hey, dad, this isn't working. Solve the problem, son. Well, I don't know how. Well, how do you solve that problem? What's the only way to do it? To figure out how. Oh, you got to go learn. You got to go tinker around with stuff. You got to do these things because that's life. Now, do I call my dad when my sprinkler system's all fucked up? Sure. But I'm also learning. I know how to do it so much that my sister will call me to help her with hers or my neighbor or whomever. But I'm not leaning on my father or my mother to solve all my fucking problems. And I look at it as I'm raising men. They're 10 and 7, right? But I still look at them like I'm raising men. I am a very stern parent. They know that. But they know that I take raising leaders very seriously. And here's the thing with golf. I have such a whole other analogy about how golf is life and all these things that maybe I'll do later. But a leader doesn't collapse when you slice the ball into the woods. He assesses the situation. He may take a pause. He might recalibrate his decision. He may have pulled an 8, but he said, you know what? I got to get up over here. I'm going to pull a 7 club, 7 iron. And he makes a decision. And That would not happen if my dad was holding my hand every damn second. Do you guys see this? And part of the thing too that I think maybe some of these dads are experiencing, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't want their son to lose. I don't want my son to lose. In fact, my son shot the best. My oldest son shot the best out of everybody on the team tonight. And he's fucking so proud. And I'm so proud of him. And when he's not playing his best, I want to jump in. I want to go down there and coach and be like, son, you should have done this. Or, hey, maybe think about this. Blah, blah, blah. Now, what I will say is I let him make mistakes. And when he comes back to the cart, I go, so what happened? Well, Dad, I copped the ball. Why? Well, I'm afraid to hit a shot fat. I'm afraid to hit too much of the grass under the ball with the club. What do we got to do that? I got to sweep the grass, Dad. That's right. Take another practice shot. Sweep the grass. Don't hit it into all the things. I'm still coaching him as his father. But you will not see me on the golf course turning his shoulders, fixing his grip, doing all this stuff. Now, my youngest son, he's currently about to be 7, and he's playing in a bigger league. He probably shouldn't have, but he was right on the cusp of his age. Now, he's been gripping it like a hockey stick, and his coach, his lessons taught him, hey, don't grip it like a hockey stick. So tonight, he started doing the same. So I did correct him. Said, son, remember, don't grip it like a hockey grip. Do it how your coach taught you. So it's not like I'm just sitting across the fairway, just playing on my phone. I'm very engaged in a different way. Because like I said, I look at it. I feel like I'm raising the next leaders of this country. And you guys can disagree with me. I know some dads watching this right now. Maybe you're in the same trap. Maybe you've done it. But here's the thing. You have to understand what you're doing in the short term that's going to affect them long term. Being the helicopter dad, telling them, positioning them. And that's the thing. There was one dad with his son was actually pretty good, but that he wasn't just letting his son figure it out. He'd tee off and then he'd be like, son, you're going to grab this club. You're going to stand here. We turn you. And I'm like, dude, you're doing your kids a disservice, in my opinion, by showing up that way for them. Now, you guys can be looking at me and be like, Paul, you're a hard ass, man. Telling your kids you got to figure out golf. It's tough. Golf's tough. I've been playing for 5 or 6 years and I'm still figuring stuff out. But how did I do that? I did it by making mistakes. I did it by not having my friends or my family that golf or the golf pro that I hired. They're not holding my hand. They're allowing me to figure it out on myself and figure out what works for me. And dads, I get it, man. You don't want your family to lose. You're trying everything right now to just make your family win, and I get that. But I will tell you, you're not here to protect your kids from adversity. You're here to prepare them for it. Let me say that again. You're not here, if you're a father, your primary job is not to protect your kids from adversity. Your job is to prepare them for it. That's massive. And as a caring father and husband, that is hard. But I recognize that by preparing them for adversity in life is going to be the best case scenario for them. And I had to do this. I talked about it on a vlog last week. My kids had a bully come steal a soccer ball and the kid was older than them. He fucking just ripped it out of their hands while they're at the park across the street playing. So another teaching moment. I want to go punch that little punk ass right in the face. Go, see, you like that, kid? I'm bigger than you. I'm older than you. Would you want me to take your little gay ass e-bike? No. It was a great lesson for me to teach my sons about adversity. It was a great lesson for me to teach them about bullies and how to handle bullies and not to start the fight, but to finish the fight. Obviously, this kid was much older, so they weren't going to try and kick his ass. But it was a great teaching lesson. So the harsh reality is a lot of you dads keep rescuing your kids every time life punches them in the mouth. And guess what? You're going to raise soft men. You're going to raise these freaking Birkenstock wearing, purse across the shoulder type beta guys. That's what you're going to lead those kids into. Well, Paul, you don't know that. No, I think I do. Because how are they supposed to get confidence? If you're there holding their hand every time something happens in this world, how are they supposed to get confidence in themselves? How are they supposed to get clarity? How are they supposed to assess a situation that's difficult in life and make a decision to solve the problem? And I see this in business too. My team knows, because I've told them over and over and over again, if you bring me a problem, you must bring me a solution. Why? Because at the same tune, I can't be there to hold my team's hand every time something happens. I didn't even go in the office today. I worked from home. So by me allowing them to have that confidence to try and solve the problem and it doesn't work out, they can come to me and say, hey, this is what I think we should do, or this is what I tried to do, and so on. So I'm instilling confidence in my team. But to wrap this up, it's okay, Dad. Maybe you've been this dad, right? Maybe you've been frustrated. I've been frustrated at how my kids played. I didn't let them know it, but I was frustrated that they played kind of crummy last year. They were testing my patience, but I realized that that was a me thing, not them, right? Do I want to run out and teach them how to hit the shot? Sure. But my preparation and for them to play golf, something that they both enjoy. Just like before today, we went and hit golf balls. I wanted to hit golf balls. I was like, let's go hit some golf balls. Let's go take some practice shots. Let's go prepare you for you to go play in this league. And I know you dads, maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're burnt out. Maybe your business is running you ragged and you don't have time to do it. It's okay. But I would implore you not to sit there and literally place the putter in front of the ball and line up your kid and just swing, because your kid's going to miss. He's going to miss the point. And not only is he going to miss the point of how he's supposed to play this game, he's going to struggle to play the game of life. And if you're a father, I think that probably hits you right in the dick, because it would for me. So I'm going to wrap this up, but inside the Dominant Daily Dads Brotherhood, the group that I run, we don't raise cowards. We raise kings. We raise leaders. We show up in the fire and we teach by setting the standard for our family, setting the tone in all dominions of life, in our spirituality, in our health and fitness, in our relationships, and in our legacy, in our prosperity, in our drive as men. And most of all, we do it in our fatherhood. That's why it's called the Dominant Daily Dads. So if you're a dad and you're tired of parenting from a place of panic, if you're done passing down the weakness that you have as a man, and you know that you need to step up and you need to come alongside us other men so that you can learn to set the standard, if this is you in some way or form, where you've done this for your kids and you're not allowing them to make mistakes, then come join my group. This isn't a sales call. This is just letting you know it's here. This is just letting you know that there's other men that are just like me, that are just like you, that have experienced situations in their life, but they want to get better. They want to set the standard. So if that's you, send me a message on Instagram. You can comment below. But as always, guys, until then, dominate daily.